spirit of infirmity 18 years and was bowed together and could in no wise lift up herself. And when Jesus saw her, he called her to him and said unto her, Woman, thou art loosed from thy infirmity. And he laid his hand on her, and immediately she was made straight and glorified God. Amen. The Bible says, and he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight and glorified God. My sermon topic to you today in this series is Lord of the Kingdom to loose and straighten up. The Lord of the Kingdom is to loose and straighten up. You know, when I was in, the Lord told me about this sermon, I was thinking about Paul. But Paul had met the Lord on the Damascus road. Paul had been taught by Gamaliel, which was one of the greatest teachers, they say, of the law during that era of the church. Gamaliel was a master teacher, as Nicodemus was. They taught men and priests and stuff how in the law, how to walk in the law, how to do what's right. And they really taught them the right way. They really believed that they taught them the right way. They tried to live right. So Paul was well disciplined in the Word of God. And Paul had a zeal that was like no other on the other side. A lot of people get it all twisted with Paul. Like they try to say that Paul was evil when Paul was on the other side. But they preach and they didn't get it. Paul thought he was living right on the other side. I'll bring it to folks. Paul actually thought he was living right. Paul was trying his best to live right. Paul was persecuting the church because they were calling Jesus' name. And Paul was saying, I have not heard of Jesus. And they go on wrong. They try to bring on false doctrine in the house of God. He thought he was living right. So what Jesus did, and say that God had designed, what God did is that he designed for Paul to be something revealed in Paul. He struck him down on the Damascus road. And say, I'm going to introduce you to somebody that you got to have where you going at from now on, that you don't believe in right now. I'm going to introduce you to himself, to you himself. And when Jesus hit Paul, when the light shined bright, and then he struck him off his feet, and Paul fell, everybody saw the light. But when Paul fell, they didn't know why Paul fell. And while the light was shining on Paul, Jesus was talking to Paul. They couldn't hear what Jesus was saying to Paul. He was talking to them through the light. And Jesus said, Paul, he said, why thou persecutest thou me? He said, who are you, Lord? It got to be something greater than this earth for a light to shine on me and somebody talking to a light. He said, who are you, Lord? He said, I am Jesus. I'm going to proclaim who I am to you personally. I am Jesus, one that thou persecutest. And it's hard to kick against the brick. All right. It's hard for you to win against what you're going against, because I can't be moved. All right. But I'm going to introduce myself to you. Get up and go to a city. Come on. And there will be a man to a house. When you get there to that house, I'm going to send somebody to you. And then you're going to receive your sight. Am I right? Yeah. So when the Lord went, they began to tell the brother to go to Paul. He said, I want you to go to them and pray for him, Ananias. And Ananias said, hold on, man, that's the same one. That persecuted church, man, he been taking folks in and getting them killed and all kinds of stuff, getting them killed, persecuting them, charging them and all kinds of stuff, and now you want to send me to him? Hey, I don't know about that. That's like you trying to get me killed. So he said he's on a road called straight. Come on. He said, I put him on a road called straight. He said, go to him now. See, I'm trying to tell you something before we get started. Jesus said, I And if you've been put on a road called straight, I don't care how crooked you were walking before, when he puts on a road called straight, you will walk straight. That's why he said, he's on a road called straight. A road called straight. Man, it don't matter what he did yesterday over there.
Right.
Or over here. He on a straight road now. Meaning my words don't change him. He got to change. He can't never come on that road. He's on a road called straight. This is why he's not greater than my words. All right. He wanted to do what I tell him the rest of his life. So I put him on a road called straight. And now Jesus is determined. Now I'm going to show you what I'm talking about now. Jesus last week was out in the marketplace and he was dealing with people on the outside. So he was healing and touching them. He wanted to show them last week that I was preaching he was the resurrection. He said, I love them on the outside. Yes, they believed in me. But Martha and Mary and Lazarus, they believed in me. They were already mine. I want to show the people outside in the world who I really am when I'm walking around. So he did something on the outside so everybody could see that he was the resurrection.
Right.
So when it called something that was dead back alive, then to show them that I can put life back in anything that's dead. I am the Word. And he raised Lazarus up by his word. He spoke the word right back into the same thing he raised from the very get-go, and it came back alive. Saying that if you ever keep his word in you, you will come back alive. Right. He said we're showing something on the outside, not in the church. But anybody out here in the world that you go to them and you put that word in them and they get that word rise up in them and receive it, then they're going to come back alive. Even though they were dead, yet shall they live. Right. Everybody go to something. Right. Even though they were spiritually dead, but yet shall they live with that word in them. They'll come back alive. And he said, and when they come back alive, lose them.
Right.
Lose them when they come back alive. Don't let them sit there and still be bound when they come alive. Give them a word of liberation to loose them. I need somebody to loose them. Well, you still on the outside here this week. The Lord goes into the church. Because this is what we needed at in the church. Because you are the light of this world. All right?
Right.
No man take his light and put it on the table. So how can somebody see it? So he need to have people in the house understand what he's talking about. All right? So he called us to loose and straighten up. In my house. Jesus now going in the house, he's preaching in the church, the synagogue church. Jesus in the church preaching, and while he's preaching, he got all those up in that house. The Pharisees sit in the hot station. They sit up in the seats in front of bed seats in the house. They sit around and get seated in the other door. They want people to look at them with all honor, you know? Look at them with all magnitude of who they are. Because see, the people in the world that got money think that they always will be on top of the other one that don't got money. So they always get the best seats in line. They always feel that they come in and take over whatever they in. And yet they had Jesus in here today. They won't better for this boy. This boy was bad.
Right.
I know what I'm talking about. I know him for myself. I know he's bad. You want 33 years old, but he's not even 33 years old. He was bad. They never heard what they were getting ready to do. But they were getting ready. They had never seen what they were going to see. He was in the midst of all of them in 3, 40, and 50 years. And all of them was trained in what they did. And heard they came in how the people was that day. Oh, we heard about that. We're going to see what he's talking about, man. Now that I've got your attention again. He said, now you're ready to sit around. You want to watch. You want to see what I'm really about. I came in to correct my house, get my house together, and you sit here and worry about what I want to do. How can you find fault with that? And it's not even about the people. It's not even about the people that's in the house of God. It's about them watching Him. How can we find fault with Him? What can we find that's negative about Him? Let us see Him. And Jesus in the house preaching, and then all of a sudden, it says this woman come in.